welcome to Pop and Heat, episode 49. I'm Kier.
And I'm Leash, and welcome to your new favorite wrestling podcast.
Welcome back. What a week it's been.
It's been crazy. We have a lot to talk about.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
we're going back to the Attitude Era here.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is the craziest I think it's been since we've gotten really into it.
Yeah.
Things are lighting up. And the road to WrestleMania was not looking as exciting as it has been in the last couple of years, but we're getting there now.
Yeah, it's the most exciting it's been for a while, I'd say. I feel like we've kind of felt, and a lot of people have felt pretty stagnant about stuff that's going on. And this has really picked it up. This week has picked it up like crazy. And obviously the people are calling for a change, and we seem to be changing.
Yeah, they're listening.
Yeah.
For sure. And responding. I think we were concerned about how they were going to ramp things up in a short amount of time. I think that picture's looking a lot clearer now. They're getting
task.
it done.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm impressed. It's been good. Let's get into it.
All right, let's get into it. We'll do a quick recap of SmackDown and Raw. We're going to try really hard to just hit the high points of it all, get into top of the pop, hottest of the heat, and social, and get out of there.
Let's get in, get out.
All right, SmackDown, April 3rd. Okay, the opening segment for this was Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes. We get the reveal of who Randy Orton has been talking to on the phone, and Pat McAfee comes out.
Yeah.
This was a big shocker for this week.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think anybody guessed this was the guy.
Yeah.
I certainly, haven't heard of anybody saying that they knew this was the story. Yeah, I didn't really hit super great for me. I like what it did to Cody, the version of Cody that we see later on. I like where they're going with that. This Pat McAfee thing feels like a bit of a stretch.
Yeah, I think people find it hard to believe all of a sudden that he is such a heel out of the blue. He seems now to be incorporating a lot of these opinions into his own show and his own narrative. What I did want to say is that we had seen a lot of speculation that perhaps it would be speculation. I want to say instead far off from possible predictions that it could be Vince McMahon that would be who Randy was talking to on the phone. We weren't sure that that was going to be possible. What I will say about that is you had made a comment the other day saying they can't really bring Vince McMahon back for a plethora of reasons, including the fact that he's 80 years old or something like that.
82.
I mean, that doesn't mean that he couldn't come back, but with a lot of the attitude going on, they've kind of brought back his whole vibe.
Yeah. So how do we get Vince, the Vince feel back without bringing Vince back? That's sort of, I think, what they're trying to tap into right now.
Yeah.
Or so it seems.
See
if they have the guts to really, let it go.
Yeah. Lean into it.
I mean, this is...
So far, so good.
It's a long game if you're going to do it right? I mean, we're talking potentially years.
Yeah.
These eras are not snapshots. So, it'd be really cool to see where this goes, for sure.
Yeah. Okay, so next we go into Rhea Ripley versus Michin. Interesting. I don't know what's going on. Rhea Ripley just keeps having to fight this different members of this little group, and Jade Cargill doesn't have to fight anybody for some reason. Rhea Ripley wins this match with a submission, but there is a post-match attack.
Post-match attack.
And the gals, Jade Cargill, Michin, B-Fab, attack Rhea Ripley. Now, this time, we do get somebody out to defend Rhea Ripley, and it is BFF Iyo Sky.
This is all a bit silly for me. Iyo is the best wrestler in WWE, possibly the world, and she's coming out to Rhea's aid on the road to her match. This is not enough. This is kind of an insult. Not kind of, it is. It's an insult to Iyo Sky. There should be a much bigger picture for her than this. But yeah, I mean, this is all just trying to add some shine to this storyline with Rhea and Jade that nobody seems to really be eating up quite the same. It doesn't have the same power that any of the other major stories have.
Yeah.
So they're really, despite the star power that it has, they have to keep pouring all of this time into it to try and get some interest, where the other women's title picture gets no time and has all the interest that it could have. Basically everybody wants more of that, but despite those short amounts of time, they're still getting it done in a much better way. So I see why they're trying to do it, but it's not working, and Io gets screwed on in the process.
Yeah, and I mean for Iyo Sky to have I have the updated match card based on the last week, and Iyo Sky still hasn't been added. There's speculation of a match for her, but it's like a back burner backup plan match that they haven't officially added yet, and that is sad for Iyo Sky because she's one of the best in there and she really does deserve it. So it's disappointing.
Yeah, as we get going in this podcast, we're going to reveal a few things, that sort of indicate that she is likely a back burner for possibly two different scenarios. But either way, that's not fair. She shouldn't be back burner. She should have been forefront in some storyline.
I agree. Next we had Uncle Howdy versus Tama Tonga. So this match, Uncle Howdy does win. There is a lot of bickering back and forth between Tama Tonga and Solo Sikoa. They are fighting. Tama Tonga says the lantern has brought them nothing but issues. And after this, he does take the lantern from Solo Sikoa and gives it back to Uncle Howdy.
Yeah, opens the door up for this separation for Tomatonga.
Yeah, what are they? MFTs.
Yeah, you know what they
The
are.
mother effing Tongans.
That's right. So yeah, that's been kind of building for a little while. The idea that he's going to kind of go off on his own. I mean, we've seen that
Yep.
with Solo and his faction. He can't keep them around.
No.
He's clearly not paying them enough.
Not a great leader. No.
Yeah. The health benefits are terrible in the MFTs. Yeah.
All right. Well, that's what's going on with that. Certainly not thrilling. Again, disappointing. We say it quite a lot, but I find the whole Wyatt 6 scenario very disappointing. I wanted way more from that.
Yeah, me too.
Next we had Aleister Black versus Matt Cardona. So the winner of this, much to your disappointment, was Aleister Black. He finishes with Black Mass and targets Matt Cardona's injured arm. Again, he's still got the cast on and beats Matt Cardona.
Like, I'm really struggling to figure out what their angle is with Cardona. Like, well, I know I don't want to sound like a broken record, and again, we're trying to get through these things quickly, but what the hell?
Yeah.
You bring him in to just hand him loss after loss after loss. Like, I'm sorry. How much better could the pay be? You were king of the indies. You had the best time of your life for 5 years, so you say. I'm really, really unsure of why this decision would feel any kind of good. It's awful.
Yeah.
It is awful what they're doing to this guy.
I mean, they're so focused on WrestleMania, and obviously he's not, a highlight of that whole planning process right now. So they likely are not giving it a lot of attention. But I would argue that it also could be a good time to start maybe building him up a little bit more and at least have him win some matches. It doesn't mean we have to create big storylines or have him win a belt, but have him win some matches.
Like, I get that he's not going to beat Randy Orton on his way to the title match,
Yeah.
right? Like, that makes sense. But why can't he beat Aleister Black?
Yeah.
Karrion Kross wannabe.
Literally, I mean, I said it again when we were watching SmackDown. Aleister Black and Zelina Vega are copying exactly what Karrion Kross and Scarlett did. Exactly, to a T. They're following people around, chirping them backstage. They're doing this basically the same entrance.
For me, it's not even as good because it's a little more hokey with this idea of being raised up on this planet. At least Karrion Kross is a real dude.
Yeah.
Like he's not trying to be some,
Undertaker
like character. And
yeah.
I'm sorry, you're not Undertaker, bud.
Yeah.
Like you're not. And yeah, I don't know. This Cardona thing's just really getting to me. We'll
Yeah.
move on, but
Okay.
yeah.
We're moving on. Next, we had Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss versus Bayley and Lyra Valkyria. The winners of this match, Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss, but we had another post-match attack.
Post-match attack.
Post-match attack. By Nia Jackson Lash Legend once again.
Yeah, a few of these things are getting a bit repetitive, you know.
It's just not building. Like, that's not building the storyline.
We already know where it's going. We're just trying to keep the heat on it.
I guess so, but how is that even keeping heat on it? It's you're doing the exact same thing every week.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. I mean, and
try
to our earlier points, you could be taking some of that time to put on some of the other stuff that maybe does need a little bit more. But I mean, I don't know.
They've got to keep it relevant. So I get that they have to have them on there. I just can't imagine that there's nothing else they could do with the story that's not have a match, they lose the match, Nia and Lash interfere, and post-match attack.
I will say that what they are doing a good job of with this women's tag picture is that, like, there doesn't seem to be any friendships happening. Like, they're doing a good job at keeping them all divided.
Yeah.
Like, nobody's like buddy.
I can see that, yeah.
And I like that. I don't, this ladder match is a bunch of pals jumping around with the
ragtag team that they've thrown together.
It's going to be a great match.
Yeah.
We know that. But as far as like the drama of, having a bunch of people in there that really hate each other, we don't have that.
Yeah.
We've got 4 pals and JD and Rusev.
Yeah.
It's the majority of these guys. I think the average height in this match is like 5'6".
Yeah, it's a short man match.
Good thing they got the ladders in there. Yeah. Right? Javon's pretty tall though.
He is. He towers
one of those OG
over
cutters off a ladder.
We'll talk about that. That was in Raw that they had more of a progression for that, I think.
Yeah, so I'm jumping all over.
You're jumping all over. It's okay though, but we'll talk about that more. But I just wanted to quickly say, just because you just said it, when they're all standing in the ring, Javon Evans is towering over everybody in that ring. It's so funny.
Yeah,
but
he's
big
dude.
We have a ladder match with like a bucket load of high flyers, so it'll be good. Yeah, even though there's no story for
all the pals. Yeah, it's great. Very compelling.
Yeah. It'll be good wrestling wise, I think.
So yeah, to wrap up that women's thing, as much as it sucks that we're kind of seeing the same thing all the time, it is doing a good job at keeping them divided.
Yeah, I get that. Next we had WWE Tag Team Championship match. Damian Priest and R-Truth versus The Miz and Kit Wilson.
This was hilarious.
Yeah. So the winners of this match were Damian Priest and R-Truth. They retain. But there was some chaos involving Danhausen. So Danhausen comes out, like, just to quickly go over it, but he comes out, tries to get tagged into the match.
Does get tagged.
Yeah, just because R-Truth never knows what's going on. Danhausen gets involved. He ends up cursing or trying to curse The Miz, ends up cursing the ref. And then when The Miz does get a pin, the ref can't actually hit the mat. His hand is suddenly
cramped,
unusable. Yeah. And
cursed.
So Damian Priest is able to come in and pin The Miz, and they win. But
all very comical.
And the lights go out, and Danhausen's like running down the aisle.
Yeah, he almost took the skull crushing finale from The Miz there, but managed to escape when the lights went out.
Yeah, for a second I thought we were going to get to see Danhausen wrestle a little bit.
Yeah, me too. I was kind of pumped for that, but it was not the case.
We didn't.
And I just want to point out that R-Truth thinks that Danhausen's Asuka, so he thinks that he tagged in Asuka to this
backstage, match. He's like, Asuka's running around cursing people.
Yeah. Pretty hilarious.
And they're like, that's Danhausen. And he's like, that little girl in the face paint?
Yeah, it's pretty great.
I love Danhausen.
I mean, you've got like the two most comical characters in WWE working together like
Yeah.
that. You're gonna get some laughs.
It's pretty funny. Also, to go back to the beginning here, at the end of this is when Cody Rhodes runs back into the ring. He attacks Kit Wilson and rants about Randy Orton and Pat McAfee again. Says Pat McAfee is going to get his receipt and
Yeah, a little
stuff.
bit more of an edgy promo from Cody,
Yeah.
sort of attacking, insinuating that Pat was brought in by the TKO guys.
Yeah.
And
the people who represent you.
Makes the I know
think he
who
meant
I'm
to
talking
say
to.
the people you were representing. You know?
Yeah, something
I
like
feel like
that.
he was
Yeah,
supposed
basically
to
you and
say
your
that.
posse.
Yeah, but he said the people that represent you, and I think he meant to say it the opposite
I would
way.
think, yeah, his group.
He does say he hears the voices in his own head, and they're
Yeah.
not good.
Yeah, so potentially, well, definitely getting a little bit closer to a darker Cody, but I don't know that that's the direction they're going to go right now. I think they're going to need a line in the sand with heels and faces more than ever as we progress into this new
Yeah.
era. And Cody, excuse me, Cody and Punk are as good as it gets for that, I'd say. So
Yeah, I don't know. I still think they're keeping it open for Cody. They're bringing him to a darker place, and I feel like it's kind of like if we need to, we're partway there.
yeah,
No?
I mean, yeah,
You know
it's
what I
one
mean?
foot in, one foot
Yeah,
out, and it
yeah.
has been for a while.
Yeah.
But this idea of like, what are you gonna do? Fire me? How'd that work out for you before? It was pretty edgy. He didn't get fired before. He asked to be released, and they allowed it. And that everybody knows that story. That's why they don't do that anymore
Yeah.
because he went and became the biggest thing in wrestling. But
Lots of
yeah, was good.
leaning into the anti-corporation, anti-WWE, anti-TKO. Like, there's been a lot of narrative online from fans about this, and they're really leaning into it with storyline right now.
Think this is what the fans have been talking about for the better part of a year now, and they're clearly listening and
Yeah.
taking it in the direction that the fans seem to want it to go.
Yeah. Next, we had the United States Championship match, Sami Zayn versus Carmelo Hayes. This was our main event.
You talk about showing a bit of a darker side. They're definitely trying to do that with Sammy right now.
Yeah.
Like he took advantage of a moment where Carmelo was distracted with the ref checking on him to basically get the win here and ensure his spot in Mania, which seems to be all he's concerned about, which I guess makes sense. Heel or babyface, you should be solely focused on getting a spot in Mania no matter what it takes. But they're definitely trying to show that he is abandoning, the nice guy thing
Yeah.
and really trying to take advantage. The thing that he was sort of giving other people shit for along the way here, here and there, but now he's doing it himself. So
Yeah. We get another post-match attack.
another one.
Post-match attack.
Post-match attack.
Post-match attack.
My gosh.
Because Trick Williams and Lil Yachty come out.
Lil Yachty. My gosh.
We're watching it back and you're like, who's this rapper again?
Why can't they bring any like rock stars into WWE? You bring
Yeah.
all these rappers I don't know anything
Yeah, what
about.
do we got? What's the other guy there that they bring out? Was with Kylie Jenner, What's his name? Travis Scott.
Travis Scott. Yeah.
think
he
that's
was
right.
there a bunch over the last year.
Travis Scott, Lil Yachty. Yeah, I don't know, popular in the youth's rap game right
That's it.
now.
I mean,
WWE.
yeah.
It's a good place to be.
my nephew probably knows everything about
Yeah,
Lil
that's
Yachty.
like the market that you want to go
I'm
for
an
is
old man.
these young people, and that's probably hitting home with them. For us, I don't know a Lil Yachty song,
No.
but
Oh.
yeah,
I'd like to see Rob Thomas go and mix it up in there, Like, let's go. Yeah. I mean, he'd have to mess around with the luchadors.
Yeah.
He's more that like 5'6" height, I think,
yeah.
But
Well, they've got like the Nickelback theme song, so I
That's
feel
it.
like
Yeah,
they're
get
playing.
Chad in there.
They're playing to both markets.
Chad's like 6'1",
Yeah.
6'2", $185. Let's
Yeah.
go.
Let's go. I'd love to see him in a match.
Chad's a hockey boy.
He'd be
Chad
fun in
can
a
throw
match.
down.
Yeah.
He writes a lot of tough guy
All right.
songs too.
We've invited you. Pop and Heat has officially invited you to go to a WWE show. You have to sign up with them directly. We have no authority, but we'd like to see you there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get him in there. Yeah, I lobby for that. Chad Kruger in WrestleMania 43.
Yeah. All right.
Let's get after it.
We'll start a campaign on TikTok. We're rolling right into Raw now.
Let's go.
That was SmackDown.
Okay, now.
Oh.
This was wow.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, what do you say?
Yeah. Yeah. So this is April 6th. We start off with CM Punk. I mean, this is the big topic of the week. CM Punk,
this is going to be the topic of this was another pipe bomb.
Yeah.
This is a topic of the decade
pipe
now.
bomb moment. Although I think sanctioned by WWE this time.
seems very likely.
But there is parts of it that have been cut out strategically in different clips. So
again, potentially all part of
on purpose.
The plan.
I was thinking that too. It
feeds the belief.
CM Punk, very edgy promo, very anti WWE and TKO. He calls Pat McAfee.
Yeah.
That's an issue. And then also he calls out TKO for telling them they need to lower the ticket prices. He says that twice. Yeah. And then he goes out into the crowd as if to be accepted by the people, which he was, and celebrated.
And like mouths the words to the camera, I don't effing care.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like
it was meant to be whether WWE sanctioned it or not, it was meant to be a pipe bomb moment.
Watching a lot of, some of the other bigger name podcasters and whatnot reacting to this in real time, nobody saw this coming. And I think everyone was genuinely shocked at the things that he was saying and how far he went with it. It's edgy for sure. And, he's been known for doing this and getting in real trouble. So, as I say, this is going to be talked about for a long, long time. This is era shifting stuff here.
Yep.
Like this is the kind of thing that can really sort of change the direction of where they're headed. I had mentioned in a previous episode recently that this feud with Roman was the only time where I was feeling like the audience was not always with CM Punk because they are so tied to the OTC at times. He's got them back.
He won the crowd back over. And that could have been the worry, right? They're like, we want the crowd with CM Punk here, but we're losing them a little bit to Roman Reigns because he's Roman Reigns. And they're like, we need to do something drastic to win the crowd back over. And they did. I mean, this is crazy. I will say on the ticket sales thing, there is social media clip that WWE put out about and they said CM Punk has a pipe bomb moment, but they cut out the ticket sales comment. And then also we watched the recap back afterwards, and WWE posts on YouTube their own recap of the shows with the main things that happened, and they cut out the ticket sales or the ticket prices comment again. Now, to your point that you just said, they may be doing that on purpose because it does stimulate more conversation about it like we're doing right now. So,
yeah, it's hard to say, right? I mean, that's the whole idea is get people guessing, make it so they don't know what's real, what's not. And that's right where we are. Punk also, I mean, this was all over the place. It was a great promo regarding his match with Roman as well, before he started just kind of going off on the establishment and Pat McAfee in general. Where he called out The Rock.
Yeah.
He was like, at least The Rock is a big movie star. Oh, wait, correction, was a big movie star. And I'm just like, what? Here we go. Too many references for this Anoa'i family. And, The Rock's got to be coming. Like everybody was so pissed off he didn't come last year.
And The Rock is TKO figurehead, right? So the ticket sales thing plays right into that too, or ticket price thing.
All of this is sort of paving the road for the idea of The Rock coming back,
Yeah.
right? So, no better time for that to happen than at Mania. Like, let's go, you know? Um, anyways, just a promo for the ages. I've said it before, I'll say it again. He is second to none on the mic.
Yep.
CM Punk is the mic master, bar none.
Phenomenal. I mean, way better than so many. We had a comment, so we posted our reaction to it, and somebody had commented and was something like Roman in a real fight, Roman Reigns would destroy him or something.
Mhm.
And then I had commented back just basically saying CM Punk's this is pro wrestling and Mike's skills matter and he's far above everybody else. But somebody else had
Yeah,
commented.
somebody else jumped in the comments, and thank you for all the comments, good and bad.
It's great.
But yeah, somebody else jumped in and said something to the effect of, yeah, and if all of the American citizens band together, they could take out all of, you know,
Yeah.
authority and law enforcement and words. It was pretty
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's obviously in
Yeah.
a regular fight, Roman Reigns is going to mop the floor with CM Punk, but they're doing a really good job of blurring the lines there. And the mic skills, as you say, matter as much or more in this sport of kings.
Yeah.
And you know, that power bomb through the announcers table last week, it got me believing a little bit
Mhm.
more for sure.
Yeah. Lots of fun. That's creating lots of excitement for
Yeah,
Mania.
I'm hyped.
Next, we had Austin Theory versus LA Knight.
Yeah.
Winner of this was Austin Theory. There was interference chaos involving Speed and Logan Paul and the Usos. LA Knight gets distracted, and this is, leading up to a newly announced match that now Speed is involved in because the Usos come out wanting to fight Speed, and Logan Paul protects him, and then now we've got like a what is it? It's the Usos and LA Knight, and then it's Austin Theory, Logan Paul, and Speed.
I'm gonna say really quickly,
Yeah.
and I hope that this doesn't offend, you know, any big fans of any of these people, but um I'm most excited about this match because I am certain at some point during the show I'm going to need to use the washroom.
You're not
And up
excited for
until
this.
now, I really wasn't sure what would be the best time to do that when and if that moment came. And now I know.
Yeah.
Okay. Because the Vision's non-title match with I Show Speed and the friggin' Usos.
I know.
Like, I'm sorry,
It
I
is
like LA
ridiculous.
Knight from a character standpoint, but this match, it for me is going to be like watching paint dry. I'm sure Logan Paul will do something that's impressive and people will talk about for a few minutes, but
Yeah.
I could care
All
less
they
about
have
this.
in this is the comedic value. And I will say that I have liked their spin on that with Speed suddenly
Yeah, it
being
was fine
forced
for a minute.
into a group. Okay, you're over it
Yeah, like
already.
enough of this non-wrestler
I
business.
think it's so funny. I mean, it's definitely not anywhere near the most important or most interesting or even interesting matches that are going to happen at WrestleMania, but I like the premise of it.
I think it could have been left where it was, you know, or maybe drag out another episode of SmackDown or Raw or whatever with the I Show Speed thing. I think to give them a Mania moment where, like,
Yeah.
again, we're talking about Iyo Sky doesn't have a match at Mania, but we're gonna give time to this.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing here?
It's not a Mania moment, but you know why they're putting it in there is for the promotional value because Speed is whatever like the most popular streamer in the world or
I
something
don't know
like
how many
that.
people are booking a trip to Vegas
Yeah.
and buying Mania tickets because I Show Speed is now in a 6-man tag
They're
match.
not, but anything he's involved in will be widely broad. I mean, more than just the way WWE broadcasts it to people that wouldn't necessarily be watching WWE. More of that market will see it because Speed is involved.
I mean, that's an interesting point to make, and I think a good discussion for another episode of like what are you doing? Like, what's important to you? You've got the best wrestler in the world on the sidelines because you want to give time to a podcaster.
Yeah.
You know, like I think
Well, let's
you
not
know.
knock the
I
podcasters.
listen. I I love a podcast.
If you need us to be in a match, we're available.
Yeah, I mean, with that said, I'm 6'1" and a buck 85 as well, and a scrappy Canuck.
Yeah.
So, get me in there with
Yeah.
Javon Evans. I think
No.
he's like a buck 98.
I get what you're saying. I think I'm not saying it's the right move. I'm just saying I think that's the motivation. Was my point in that.
Yeah, I mean, I understand it to a degree. I think if there weren't so many other obvious questions about what they're doing, then it
Yeah.
wouldn't bug me as much. But
Yeah.
I don't want to beat that horse to death. But Iyo Sky.
Yeah, I
Okay.
know. Next we had Bailey versus Lash Legend. Bailey wins this match. Continues her momentum heading into Mania. That's pretty exciting.
It is exciting. And
Yeah.
you know what makes that even cooler is we're going to meet her on the Friday
She's on our
before
list
Mania.
of photo ops that we're going to
So
do.
it's nice that she's on an upswing.
Yeah. Well, hopefully
Yeah,
she
that's
can.
great.
You know what? We're also doing all of our photo ops before Mania. Like we're doing them on the Friday, so we don't have to be sad about anybody that loses that we're sad about. Not to say that Bailey's going to lose. I'm just saying, if anybody does lose that we would be sad about, we're not going to meet them after
That's
that.
right. We don't have to see them with that,
Yeah.
pain in them.
Yeah.
We kind of have this theory that Raquel and Liv, something might happen to break their bond at Mania.
Oh yeah. Well, we got lots to
Like
talk
Raquel
about.
might be turning on her. So I kind of like, we're going to meet Raquel on the Friday and I just want to look at her and be like, good luck.
Yeah.
I know what's coming.
Wink.
Kind of
wink.
approve as well.
Yeah. Oh no, we love Liv. Although,
Yeah, I just like the story of it all.
yes, I know it's great. It is. Okay. Next, we had 6-man tag match: Penta, Dragon Lee, and Javon Evans versus the Americanos, Los Americanos. Eye roll. Penta, Dragon Lee, and Javon Evans win this. We also get an announcement at the end of this.
Yeah, the Hall of Famer makes his
Yes.
way to the ring.
Yes, he does.
Conveniently enough. Yeah, I mean, this was supposed to be the Gunther match.
Yeah.
And, a week after that is flushed down the toilet, he
Yeah.
shows up and he's fine to be in a ladder match.
I kind of thought it was comical because he was like, this is going to be like one of the most exciting ladder matches in the world. But you know what it needs? Me. Like that was kind of the way he presented it.
Yeah, and I don't disagree. I would definitely add some excitement to it. It's great. It is exciting because of the athleticism of these people, not exciting because of story. We
That's what I
talked
said
about this
earlier.
already.
Yeah.
But it's just four pals pretending to fight, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be exciting because of the high flying moves in the ladder match and the craziness. It's not, there's no story behind this for sure.
Yeah, nobody's got any real heat. The build to this was apparently done through other matches and like main event and stuff like that. So like if
Yeah.
you were only following the main stuff, then you didn't even see any of that. There's really nothing here besides just the excitement of a ladder match, which is good. Don't get me wrong. It's going to be visually entertaining. It's just
It is. I was about to say we are going to Vegas, and this way we don't have to see a Cirque du Soleil show. This is going to be Cirque du Soleil.
You know what I hadn't thought of is I've never, like, in all the shows that we've seen and even when I was a kid watching wrestling, ladder matches weren't even a thing yet.
Yeah.
We're talking golden era. I'm old, as I mentioned. But yeah, this will be the first ladder match. Never
that we've
seen
seen
one.
live. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
That is cool.
Interesting to hear that sound live, eh?
Ooh, scary.
Cool. Yeah.
I'm thinking like Kevin Owens, Cody Rhodes. Like yeah, I'm a little nervous.
It's gonna be nuts.
Okay, next we had Rhea Ripley and Iyo Sky versus Michin and BFAB, because Michin and BFAB just can't give it up and go away.
Yeah, I mean, we don't really need to talk about it at length again, but here we go. It's just more of that thing that they're doing to try and heat this up, and once again, no time for the Liv and Raquel story, but it's still more compelling for some reason. Pretty impressive.
It is interesting. Rhea Ripley and Iyo Sky win that match. We don't need to talk about it anymore. Next, we had Finn Balor versus JD McDonough, which never happens. In fact, the craziness happens. Then you look at me and you're like, I guess we're not getting a match.
Yeah.
But yeah, it doesn't officially happen. Judgment Day attacks Finn Balor before the bell. Finn Balor fights back. And yeah, chaos ensues. Personal feud escalates.
Yeah. I mean, they just beat the crap out of him and the match doesn't happen. It was a very short amount of time to add some heat to it. I think it was good. It did as much or I would say likely more than a match would have with JD anyways.
They ended up getting the upper hand, but he did fight back for a little bit,
He
right?
did
Like
at first.
yeah.
But in the end, he was kind of laid out. So,
Yeah.
but then, 20 minutes later was apparently fine enough to do a vignette promo that was clearly filmed ahead of time.
Yeah.
but-
Oh yeah. It was like
Come
he
on.
was like addressing it right after in a promo backstage. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a bit odd. You were like, this seems like it was filmed ahead of
Yeah.
time.
It clearly was, but whatever. They know what they're doing.
Then we get another big promo backstage, AJ Lee and Becky Lynch. They have a quiet talk.
Yeah, well, it's supposed to be an interview with Michael Cole and AJ Lee, but Michael Cole hightails it out of there as soon as Becky shows up. He's just
That
like,
part was
"Sorry,
pretty
I'm
funny.
out." And
She's like talking in his ear, and he's like, I don't have to take this.
this calm conversation ends up taking place between Becky and AJ, and it wasn't even really a conversation. It was just basically AJ quietly telling Becky how great she is.
Yeah. How unimportant
And Becky
is.
just sort of sat there and took it all and then just did a Sami Zayn mope at the end, like,
Yeah.
"Meh."
Yeah, AJ Lee's kind of like, she says she's proud of her, and then Becky's, you don't get to be proud of me. And then AJ Lee's like, I'm not done talking. I don't like AJ Lee. I can't stand her. She's supposed to be the one you like in this mix, but
this whole idea
don't
of
like it.
I'm your favorite wrestler's favorite wrestler, I'm their favorite wrestler, I'm your kid's favorite wrestler. Like, I think it's safe to say you're not her child's favorite wrestler. Like,
No.
she's
But that's a callback because there was a promo
Becky said
did
that crap.
and-
Yeah, I know. But the whole thing, it's just cringy to me. You're not my favorite wrestler, so stop saying that
Yeah.
because you're wrong.
Yeah, because you're wrong.
Okay.
But yeah, Becky has a tantrum at the end, which we didn't like. But
If Becky loses this match, it's just ridiculous. I've said that before, but like, why would you hand her just the loss after loss after loss the same way to the same person over and over again? Like, I just really don't see the purpose of this.
Yeah. No, I agree. If she's got to win. She's got to win because it doesn't match the lead up. There would be no point to it for her to just lose over and over and over again.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you've done the Becky loses thing 3 times now.
It's enough.
Don't think you need to do it 4.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see, but I'll certainly be cheering for Becky Lynch.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Next, we had Seth Rollins addressing last week's attack.
He kind of did what I said they were going to do last week. If you watched our episode last week, I said it's not too late. They need to go back and tie this into Paul Heyman somehow.
Right. Yes.
And they did. Not exactly in the way that I thought. Like, they didn't make it so, Paul set this up. They made it so Gunther did it in order to get Paul to owe him, basically, right? So, it's still a stretch from a story perspective, but I'll eat this up. Gunther rocks. Seth Rollins rocks. This is going to be good.
Yeah, it's going to be a good match. They didn't have a ton to work with. Like you said, I think they're doing the best they can to tie it all together. And it is going to be an exciting match. It's 2 exciting people. So
I'm pumped to sing for Seth.
Yeah.
It's going to be great.
Yeah. That part's going to be cool. I think it would have been much cooler to have something actually Vision related with him, but obviously with Braun Breaker gone, we can't do that.
Yeah,
so.
Everything shifts with that now, right? So now that becomes Braun's thing when he returns.
Yeah.
Which I don't really find as compelling because he's the one that turned on Seth in the beginning. Like, it's really too bad that everything happened the way that it did. It screws their story. And I guess this happens. They got to be ready to pivot when they need to. But This really screwed things up for sure.
Hopefully they can find a way to make it work in the future. We'll see. Next we had Brock Lesnar versus Oba Femi. Well,
Contract
sorry, it's
signing.
not versus, it's the contract signing. Yeah, the contract signing for their match. Yeah.
I said to you right away, I was like, we've got like a dozen matches for Mania mentioned, but for some reason, only 2 of them require a
Yeah.
contract signing.
Yeah, not everybody has to sign contracts.
No,
Or they don't do it publicly in a ring anyway.
that's it.
Yeah.
They're unsanctioned contract signings.
Yeah, exactly. What is sanctioned or unsanctioned?
Who
There's no
knows?
rules here, okay? It breaks down into a big brawl. You know,
Contract's not signed though, so
monster
what does that even
clash.
mean?
Yeah, I know. Well, what was the point of it? They didn't
Where
even
are we
say.
now?
Are we having the match? We don't know. We don't know.
That's it. It's all in the air
I
now.
don't know.
Yeah, they're doing a good job.
Yeah.
I think that for
Oba's doing great. When he came out, sorry to interrupt you, but we were laughing at a lot of people they were showing in the crowd. It was pretty.
oh yeah, the dance.
Yeah.
Everybody's eating it up,
Yeah.
us included.
Yeah.
But I think for a non-title match, this is extremely compelling. Everybody is as excited for this as anything
Yeah.
else. I think it's really well done. It's going to be fun.
I would say the excitement level is if it was one of the main events. Like it's not a main. Well, actually, I have the updated match card. Why don't we run through that?
Sure, let's do it.
All right. I have night 1 and night 2, which we didn't have the separation before. So.
Okay.
Or we haven't announced it anyway. So night 1, we've got Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton.
I did know that.
Then we've got Stephanie Vicaire and Liv Morgan, Women's World Championship on night 1. We've got Seth Rollins versus Gunther in a singles match, night 1. We've got AJ Lee versus Becky Lynch, Women's Intercontinental Championship, night 1. We've got WWE Women's Tag Team Championship Fatal 4-Way with Nia and Charlotte Flair and Bayley and the Bella Twins. They've also got this thing, ESPN2 first hour matches. So the first hour of the show is on ESPN, and then I don't really know exactly how they announced something like this on TV. I mean, we're going there live anyway, and we wouldn't be watching it this way at home because it's not like that in Canada, but that's Jacob Fatu, Drew McIntyre for their unsanctioned match. And the 6-man tag match, Logan Paul, Austin Theory, IShow Speed, and the Usos in LA Knight. So that's night 1.
I'm surprised that the Liv match is on night 1. I think everybody agrees that it's the more compelling story of the 2 women's title
matches. This was
matches.
on the WWE website.
That just goes to show you though, again, right?
Yeah.
Like Rhea.
Yeah.
It's all about the Rhea show.
Yeah. Okay, night 2, CM Punk versus Roman Reigns, World Heavyweight Championship. Jade Cargill versus Rhea Ripley, Women's Championship singles match. Finn Balor versus Dom Mysterio. United States Championship match, Sami Zayn versus Trick Williams. And these ESPN first hour matches, Oba Femi versus Brock Lesnar in a singles match. And the Intercontinental Championship ladder match with all the peeps.
They're going to do that in an hour.
Yeah, those 2 matches, the singles match and the Intercontinental Championship, they're doing in the first hour.
Interesting.
Yeah. That is the updated match card. So I guess that'll bring us into our first segment.
Well, I guess it will. Top of the pop.
Top of the pop.
Ooh.
Yeah, sometimes at the end it fades out and the mic doesn't catch what I do, so I tried to go a little deeper with it.
Oh, you stuck with it.
I'm mixing it up.
Oh, cool. I like it.
Thanks.
I like it. Okay. Well, we didn't really do any discussion beforehand on this, so we're potentially
I
going to be
know what
divided.
my top of the pop is for sure. It's got to be that CM Punk promo.
Okay. Well, yeah, for me, I'm going to go in a different direction. I'm going to say Seth Rollins. The way that he got the crowd going as he like circled around the ring and got them singing his song. I know that's not necessarily the initial pop, but just sort of thinking about how he had the crowd on his side for this. And because he's been away for a while, I'm throwing it to Seth.
Yeah, That's a good option for sure. I don't disagree with that. He had a huge pop. I just think that pipe bomb moment with CM Punk in the crowd at the end, the crowd was going crazy. So I'm going to go with that. We can differ. We don't have
I
to
felt
agree.
like, yeah, and I did say earlier that I felt like this was the first time in a little while where I felt like he won all of the crowd back. So I see why you would pick that, but I'm gonna just spice it up. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
why
pick
not?
Seth.
That's fine. Difference of opinion. Okay. And that'll bring us to our next segment.
You suck.
Hottest of the heat.
Hottest of the heat.
There's a few right now, There's a few. I think I'm gonna see. I just don't want to keep giving it to Paul Heyman every week.
I agree. He's killing it every week. And, we have to be honest with our picks. We can't necessarily not choose someone because we keep choosing them.
We have the vision. They're running some pretty hot heat right now.
Mm-hmm. Logan Paul does get a lot of heat. I will say that.
Yeah, I would still say, and Gunther comes back, but I don't think that it's the same sort of grab as Paul right now. No,
Yeah.
we're giving it. I think that's like 3 weeks in a row.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's earning his money.
He is. Yeah. He's doing a great job. But like I said, we can't not pick someone just because we keep picking them. If he's doing the best job, he's doing the best job. He
That's
wins
it.
the award.
Congratulations.
Congratulations again.
There it is.
All right. We should come up with a medal or a badge of honor to give these people.
Well, if we run into them, we can give them a sweet pop and heat bracelet.
Yeah.
Everybody's talking about them.
Everyone's talking about it. We should have brought one to show on the podcast. I'll post a video about them.
Well, there's always next week,
I've got to advertise so people at Mania know to look out for them.
Yeah. Keep an eye out.
Okay. That'll bring us into our last segment here.
Here we go. The social.
Okay, so Liv Morgan injury. I wanted to talk about this because she posted some social media posts. Okay, so there's a promo, which we didn't really get into, of Stephanie Vicaire backstage. She runs at Liv Morgan, shoves her. Liv Morgan's head smashes off of Roxanne Perez's head. Like, scary smashes off of it. Then she smashes her into a TV, which, by the way, waste of a TV. You said that.
Yeah.
It's broke a brand new
perfectly
TV.
Good.
Yeah. So the downside to all this is we've now got Liv Morgan with a goose egg, a literal giant goose egg on her forehead, okay, on concussion protocol, which means they're just like keeping an eye on. Doesn't necessarily mean she has a concussion, but they are keeping an eye on her to make sure that she doesn't and that they take care of her in the meantime. Likely will mean she won't be in anything this weekend, fight-wise, which she probably wouldn't have anyway. And it could mean that she has to step away from her Mania match if she does have a concussion and is not recovered by then.
Oh, man. Like,
Yeah.
This whole thing is crazy. How could you be so careless in this moment? Like, Liv got to this position for winning Royal Rumble. Like, if she were to lose her Mania moment that she earned through Rumble, like, this is going to be a tragedy.
Yeah.
If this ends up being a bad concussion, and I mean, let's be real. This is a golf ball sticking off the top of her head.
It's huge. Yeah.
Like, the likelihood is, yes, she is concussed, and very much so, I would think.
Yep.
You got 9 days, like, Stephanie Vicaire, you should be feeling like a bag of garbage, and I'm sure you are.
Yeah.
But like,
yeah.
holy crap, to be so careless in this moment. Now, I know you gotta do what you gotta do in these segments, but like, there should have been more care taken. It's just crazy to me that this could happen like this.
Yep. Yeah, I
Woof.
agree.
Like, how
It's
do you
insane.
pivot with this?
It'll be really disappointing if we don't get to see her fight at Mania. And I'm glad she's okay. She did say she's okay generally. So I'm happy
she's going
to hear that.
live
Yeah.
for sure. No pun
Yeah.
intended.
Yeah, she's going to Liv.
very up in the air as to whether or not she'll wrestle at Mania.
Yeah.
So that's
That's
crazy.
upsetting. And Stephanie Vicari sucks.
Yeah, big time. And this ties back to what we were talking about earlier of why the Iyo Sky back burner scenarios sort of are the potential thing, right? Initially, I think they weren't sure if they were going to need Asuka and Kyrie for the
Yeah.
women's
This is
tag
actually
match.
my next thing in the social. So Iyo Sky versus Asuka, there was an article that I read why it's not announced yet. And Nikki Bella is actually injured right now. And so she potentially won't be able to be in that women's tag match. So it was considered that maybe Asuka and Kyrie Sane would have to go in to their place for that match. And so that's why they haven't announced the Iyo Sky and Asuka match, because it's kind of like we don't know which one we're gonna have to do. But Iyo Sky versus Asuka, as we were saying, could be a good replacement if they can't do Stephanie Vicare and Liv Morgan. But they've got to have Stephanie Vicare defend her title. I mean, I would think they have to. So I don't know what would happen. You had another theory for that.
Potentially Raquel
Yeah.
steps in for Liv to, defend her honor in this scenario, which I think could then also work towards the inevitable Liv and Raquel fallout as well. Who knows? This is crazy that we're even talking about who might replace Liv. Like, this is really sad. She's runner up in the Royal Rumble twice, finally
Yeah.
gets her Rumble win to guarantee her spot at Mania, and this happens. I just feel like it will be so, so awful if she doesn't make it.
Yeah. Well, we have to wish her well. We will wish her well.
We do.
Okay, lastly on the social, I had just Pat McAfee on his show responded to CM Punk. And he just said, so he noted on the show that he checked his phone and he was currently trending, and offered up the response, Pat McAfee. What? What is that about? CM Punk last night calling me Pat McAfee and attacked a lot of things. Then he would lay out why he is not worth the price of admission of Wrestlemania. Lower the prices now. I'm not worth that much. No worries, Mr. Punk. Randy Orton is here to save everything.
I mean, it's not a bad response, but he's not saying he's not worth the ticket prices. He's saying families that have to travel via airline to another city and then on top of that pay thousands of dollars per night for a seat at WrestleMania. I'm sorry, but no, it's not the same thing. And I get it. It's all part of the story, but I mean, that's what we're here to talk about. And I think that Pat McAfee went from being somebody I really dug to you're a real stinker, man. Okay. And I am
earlier today, you're like, I don't like him anymore.
Yeah,
so.
no. I hope that somebody whoops your butt
Yeah.
at WrestleMania. I don't know that it's gonna be Cody, but
Well,
I
and
hope
that's
somebody does.
how we feel about that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to give too much away in the way of predictions because we have next week's Big 5-0
Woo! Predictions
with our
episode.
Mania predictions, and just sort of celebrating 50 episodes of Poppin' Heat.
Yeah.
So tune in for that.
Yeah. In the meantime, you can catch all of our social media posts. We're on all the social medias: TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, X/Twitter, YouTube Shorts. You can find us at Poppin' Heat. That's at POPNHEAT.
That's right. And you can find this and all our other 48 episodes on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, Audible, YouTube Music, and the video versions right here on YouTube.
That's right. Check it out for all the updates. We'll be posting tons of stuff during WrestleMania weekend because, as we've said a million times, we are going to Vegas. We're really excited about it, and we'll try to keep everybody updated on the goings on.
Yeah. Hope to see you out there.
Yeah.
But we'll talk to you all about it next week.
Yeah, sounds good. See you then.
Bye, guys.
Bye.